Hi, I'm Jeff Bauer from Brown Wilbert Vault Company. Um, my office is in the St. Paul corporate plant, but I do oversee 7 or 8 of our other facilities, mainly in Wisconsin. Been with the company for 35 years, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about Burial Vault product, and we'll talk about the purpose, and then we'll get into some of the nuts and bolts. The main purpose for a burial vault is security. So we're going to lower the casketed remains of your families into a vault in the ground that will provide security for that casket and protect that from the natural environment. Some of the triggers, some of the keywords we'll talk about are secure, obviously, dry, moisture-free. Everybody wants to be secure. Everybody wants to be dry. Those are some of the things you can talk about to your family. Concrete burial vaults are made out of some of the strongest things on earth. Stone, sand, been around forever. We use high-quality Portland cement to bind everything together. Our concrete is 6,000 psi. It might not mean that much to you, but a typical road bed, a road or freeway or highway made with concrete would be at about 4,000 psi. So we're that much stronger, and that's going to add that level of protection that you're going to want. The static loads and the impact loads on 6,000 pound concrete are going to be 30% better than something that you're going to see out of other DOT concrete. Some of the other materials that we put in our Wilbert burial vaults that are going to add strength are plastic. We have 2 levels of plastic: a Strentex plastic. Let's compare that to a pop bottle, a Mountain Dew bottle. We also have Trilon 2 plastic. That's going to be the next level up. You're going to see that in our Venetians and our Triune series. Let's compare that to, say, a car bumper or a football helmet. They're going to be your impact resistance is going to be much greater with as you go up the line with our plastic liners. The other thing we're going to add to our burial vault to add strength when you go up to another level, you get your good, better, best, will be the metal liners. So we have the stainless steel that's going to offer the most strength, highly polished, and very strong. We not only do they add the strength of the steel, but we also bond that steel to the plastic liner. Most of our competitors do not bond that. We use a 2-part epoxy, similar to the epoxy that we use in our to bond our concrete to our plastic liner. So that bond, those materials are what offer what we have. The other thing we do with our concrete is we make them thicker. The walls are thicker as we go up from the Monticello through the Continental, Venetian, and our Triune. So strongest, most secure burial vault by far in the market. You're getting the very best. The other thing we offer as we go up is personalization. The Monticello, just your standard emblems, plastic emblems. All we had back when I started quite a while ago was the just your standard cross, crucifix, rose. Now we add life reflections, vinyl appliques. You can add a church window. You can do better roses. We can add different colors, flat appliques, but more detail. And we also have the Legacy Series 2. That's going to be a film that we put over the entire carapace, the top piece here, that will allow us to personalize even another level up. So that would be on the Venetian and the Triune series. We have just your standard scenes, maybe a sunrise sunset, maybe a barn, or you can go up another level and we can add personalization, portraits. We can add maybe the person's cabin, actual photographs we can transpose onto this film to personalize to the ultimate level. If it's out there for personalization, we have it. It's available, and we do all that right in St. Paul. The other thing I'm going to talk about a little bit right at the end here is the tongue and groove seal. So it's not a chip lap. There's actually a tongue here, and then there's a groove in the cover, and we put a butyl tape that's supposed to last for eternities, again, like everything that we use in our burial vaults, and that seal, the butyl tape actually wraps around the tongue, creates that seal, and once that seal is made, you're going to be watertight, you're going to be airtight, nothing in, nothing out. Again, our tongue and groove seal is better than any other seal on the market, not even close. Service is the thing that we take the most pride in at Brown Wilbert. It's what you're going to notice out in the cemetery. Our professionals out there in those cemeteries are trained by senior drivers. We have a large network of drivers. I think we have close to 100 delivery drivers, and these guys are trained to assist you in the cemetery and represent your funeral home. This is a partnership, and we just want you to understand how seriously that we take this, the service part of the what we provide. Talk a little bit about a burial vault versus a grave liner, and the setups. Our concrete burial vault is just what we call a grass and device setup. The grave box would be installed in the grave. It would the cover would be taken away, put on later. Sometimes we stand it up inside of the grave. We're able to set it on edge. There's a device there. We decorate it with greens. Once the casket service is done, the casket is lowered into the burial vault, or into the grave box, excuse me. And the device is removed, the cover is put on. Everything is done below ground, so there is a chance of dirt or cave-ins that could make that a more difficult lowering than our Wilbert Monticello on up. Wilbert Way is what we refer to that to, and that is an above ground setup that displays not only the box and the inside of the liner, the base of the vault, but also the cover. That setup, there's a lot more to it, but will allow you to present the burial vault and lower, if you choose, in front of the family without any concern about cave-ins, dirt in the vault, roots, any of the things that happen below ground will not come into play at all with the burial vault Wilbert Way setup. That is something that we provide that will be a sales point for your family, especially somebody that would cares about the closure part of it, graveside service, and maybe the closing right in front of the family. You want to make sure that you distinguish between the two. So thank you for your time. I appreciate getting to teach you about some of our burial vaults and what we can do for you.